try!
How do you sum up the tournament overall, Andy?
I'm really proud of them, actually. Really proud of them. If you'd asked or told me we'd get fourth spot coming in here, I would have taken it. But as we said earlier today, when you get into that semi-final, you want to win that. The pleasing thing was we didn't stop trying. We made some errors, which I knew we would, but it wasn't through a lack of effort. And all we can ask is they give their best. So I'm really proud of them.
Who impressed you most?
Oh, it's a hard one. We the first timers, I think they all did, mate. Lockie Anderson, I just kept playing him because he was playing good football. Quinny comes on at the end there, does some really special things. Liam McNamara, showed some real classy touches out there. So those three as first timers this tournament really good. But then again, Timmy Anstey, he just looks like he's been around forever. He's 19 years of age, his fourth tournament, so he's very impressive. Tate McDermott, they're all good, mate.
Some tired bodies in that last game. Do you expect that to, be one of the focuses, the boosting nutrition, looking going forward?
Yeah, 100%. So Sevens is about being physically fit and mentally fit. So they got put into some positions they'd never been in before. We had bodies behind the scenes, pretty sore and pretty broken, but they got themselves up for that. But that's part of being a Sevens player. You've got to learn to deal with that. And the longer they're in the program, the better they'll become at dealing with that.
And would you be willing to put a time frame on when you think this team can, push for a championship or world championship? Well,
hopefully this year. Given that performance, the tough thing now is for blokes who aren't in that 12 to push their way or force their way into that 12. As I said to all the contracted players, just because you're a contracted player doesn't mean you get a start. So, they've got to fight hard to get those young blokes out now, which makes it really healthy for the squad. And once you got that competition from within, good things happen. So that's the plan, that we have a win this year.
By your own admission, you set the bar reasonably low, I suppose. This one, the fourth, meeting your expectations and exceeding it. Is that the bar now, though?
Well, the bar's I'll still say it's quarter-final every tournament. So we've made two, we've missed two. So I'm unhappy with that. But we've got to be got to sit in those top two tiers. And if we can do that, then I am happy. And of course, once you get into that, it comes down to day two, which is all the mental game. And we need to be stronger. And I think traditionally we haven't been good on day two. We get into quarterfinals Australia and we drop that game, and then we're sitting in tier, the second tier again. So we need to get into semis.
Vegas next. You've just seen your next opponents. What do you make of the pool?
Yeah, well, there's no easy one. You look at that bottom tier, and you got Canada and Scotland who finished third and fourth last weekend, and now they're in the bottom tier. So every game's tough. So Fiji, Japan, Scotland. Yep. They're all tough, mate.
In terms of injuries, will you get anyone back for Vegas? Will you lose anyone out of here? What's the situation?
Injury-wise, I don't think we'll lose anyone out of this. Sammy Myers will just have to check him.
Yep.
Timmy Anstey will be fine. He just had a head knock there, so he'll be fine. We've got 4 weeks before that next tournament. So players coming back, though, Nick Maloof, Tommy Lucas, have been showing some good form at training, and they're very close to being selected. So Jesse Parahy, Ed Jenkins, so some of those names start to come into the picture, and Johnny Porch is not too far away either. So, but as I said, it's not a rails run for those boys. We've got a camp in a couple of weeks' time. We'll be playing some games.
Yep.
They need to show me that they're better than those young blokes.
Andy, clearly the Super Rugby season is going to start in a couple of weeks' time. Would you like to see at some stage perhaps like access to fringe Super Rugby players that aren't going to be starting week in, week out?
No, I think it's a different game. If there's fringe players who could spend 6 months with us and then push for a spot, by all means. But if you're not in a Super Rugby top 23, you're not going to make our top 25. So, it is really two different games now. And I think just the fitness aspect of it, two very different games. So I won't be looking at those blokes.
What was the most pleasing thing for the last 2 days?
I just think the way the team grew. I think the other thing for young blokes too, before you come into tournaments or the World Series, you can watch it on telly and read about it in newspapers, and you're not too sure whether you're going to be good enough. But out of that, this weekend, or from last weekend, we had 3 debutants. This weekend we had another 3. So in 2 weekends we've had 6 debutants who can all look at themselves and say, I'm a World Series Sevens player and I'm up to it. and that's the pleasing thing. So our depth has just grown by 6 players.
What do you think you'll learn from teams like South Africa and New Zealand?
Well, they're classy teams who've been around for a long time. So, the DJ Forbes and then you look at South Africa with that very stable side they've had for so long, and that's what we need to build to. So we made errors in both of those games, those big games that probably came from not being together for a while. So we've got to be better at working and knowing each other's plays and not making those errors.